Might wonder what unifies the LOC. Well, there's going to be no acting this year, just talking. Didn't really have time to prepare a proper video that I thought was worthy of commission intro. So this is just where I will talk about our league. We are global number one. We got five countries represented in this league. Of course, myself as Canadian, many other Canadians, lots of Americans, and we have people from England, we have people from Serbia, and we have people from Germany. And honestly, I would love to see those numbers get up even more. So for some of you people overseas or even some of our North American friends, if you know some people maybe in South America, maybe more in Europe, I'm always open to getting some new referrals in, especially international referrals. Next, well, what keeps us unified? Well, how about the weekly recaps, everybody? For anyone that was around last year, the weekly recaps were added, and what a difference it made, right? I mean, to wake up every morning after football week is over and to go over the recap of every single league in the format of what happened, it really does unify the tiers. And I do think it unifies also the dynasties. So of course, we added the new dynasty this year, so we are now five leagues in the LOC format. And this year, once again, those weekly recaps will be featured, adding the new dynasty as well. Last but not least, we are the LOC family. It was funny. This league was once criticized for being a family league. It is a family league. We got wives in here. We got brothers in here. We might even have some sisters in here. Well, so we got a sister-in-law. So yeah, we are family. And honestly, for the teams that have been around a long time, I just want to say thank you. A lot of you have stuck up for me in a lot of scenarios where, I it felt like, is this really worth going on? And lots of shout outs to people like Dushan, Danny, Ryan. I could think of many more, but those are a few that I just think about that were there in certain situations when I really needed another voice, and you were there. So I just want to say thank you to this LOC family for sticking by my side. And really, it's you that makes this the best fantasy league out there. Thank you.
A few moments later.
Hey everyone, guess is back. It's the Kamish back here with another draft preview, our last one for 2026. I'll be honest, I'm happy it's the last one. These are a bit of a marathon. For you folks that do watch the previews every single time I post one, or at least the majority of them, I want to say I do this for you, and I want to thank you all for that. But today's about Josh and Silver Bullets, his first year in Tier 1. He started in Tier 3 2 years ago, made it up to Tier 2. Last year, finished third in Tier 2. Now he's a Tier 1 participant. But things are going to be a bit different for him this time around. Not as easy as it was for Tier 3, Tier 2. He did have the benefit of inheriting some pretty good teams in those two tiers, not trying to take anything away from Josh, because I do think he knows his football and he's going to be a good owner. But I will say that now is going to be his true test, and we'll get into it. So first off, here's where the test begins. The keepers are pretty good. They're decent, right? But if you watch Krista's preview, she didn't have a true one on the roster. You do, at least with Saquon Barkley. The problem with Barkley, though, ever since he won the Super Bowl, people are zeroing in on him. They're realizing that Jalen Hurts maybe isn't the guy that he thinks he is, anyways. But so it does put pressure on Barkley, and Barkley's getting up there in years, right? Like, he's now 29.4 according to Sleeper. So definitely getting up there in the years, and usually when they hit age 30, that's when things start going downhill. So that's going to be a challenge to find a keeper that could replace him eventually. Maybe it's someone you sell at the deadline to prepare for next year. without dropping. Might be the key, right? Jalen Waddle, I think, is going to go off. You really got four wide receivers here that I think end up in a better situation than they were last year. And this is why I do like the roster to some degree. Jalen Waddle, he's going to Denver. He's finally out of that shithole in Miami. I mean, Miami's not a shithole, but the team is, right? Speaking of which, Miami Beach, if you ever been there, they have floating billboards. It's fucking like the most commercialized fucking consumer thing I've ever seen. But anyways, I think Waddle's gonna have a huge year. And then Matthew Golden, well, it's right below him. Romeo Dobbs left, right? So Matthew Golden is going to get more volume. I know Reed's there. I know Christian Watson's there, but it's an offense that's going to produce. It's a legacy offense. And I think Golden entering year two. Remember, there's first round draft capital on this guy. Green Bay's not going to give up on him that easy. And we saw that with Christian Watson, even with the injuries, he was first round draft capital. They just gave him a big contract. Romeo Dobbs, I've always liked Romeo Dobbs. Watching him on Green Bay, I thought he was their best receiver, to be honest. Apparently, he's a bit of a diva, though, or he's got a bit of a bad attitude, which, whatever. Just let the guy play ball, right? But he's going to New England. I know he's going to play second fiddle to A.J. Brown. That might be a good thing, right? A.J. Brown's going to get all those coverages. And then Ricky Pearsall, 49ers. Well, let's face it. Debo is no longer there. He's been gone for a while. I know they brought in Mike Evans, but for San Francisco, it's like, when's a guy like Parasol going to deliver? Brandon Ayuk obviously isn't going to be there, so it's going to be up to Parasol to prove that he is the receiver that they hoped he would be. And then at IDP, you're going Jeffrey Simmons. I do like Jeffrey Simmons. I think he's completely underrated as far as a player goes. If Jeffrey Simmons was on, say, New York or some other big market like Dallas, San Francisco, he would be much more heralded than he is playing for Tennessee. That's for sure. Looking at who else you could have kept, I mean, honestly, I don't see really anyone else on your roster that you could have kept. Again, you inherited a tough challenge here. But that's what I actually like about it is that you got to go all in on this challenge. If there was maybe one you could look at, I'm not a believer in Parasol. The guy's hurt all the time. Brian Robinson might have standalone value as a number two in Atlanta. I mean, he could be Algier 2.0, so there's touchdowns to be had. Or if Bijan went down, he put up some huge numbers, right? But again, he's not the full-time starter, so I get it. We talked about this on the recap already. Tier 2 qualifier, third place finish last year. Obviously not available for last year's record for Tier 1. Career record 0-0. As I mentioned, you did the hop, skip, and jump from Tier 3 to Tier 2 to Tier 1, all in consecutive years. This is the draft pick scenario for you. You got your 10 and 10, no 5, but a double up at 9. So I think you're in pretty good shape here to make the team what you want. The challenge is picking at 9th overall. Is there still going to be a keeper quality rookie there? Obviously, you took the grace, so this is one of those years where you got to prep, but you also have to survive. So just remember that because unlike maybe tier 2 or tier 3 where you just didn't see the trade activity, if people need to survive or people going all in, you're going to see a ton of trade activity, okay? And that happens close to the deadline. We all know we've been in this league. For the ones that have been here for a while, we all know how it works, right? And you're going to be in for that lesson as well, Josh, as you proceed here. But I think you put yourself in a pretty good scenario here. You got your 10 and 10 and rounds 11 to 20 as well. And then, of course, 9 and 9 here at the end with the double up in 26. So at least you get to end the draft in round 28. It's always good to end a lot or earlier than other teams. I've always enjoyed that myself personally. All right. So again, we talked about your pick in ninth. I think that first pick is you're gonna go best available. And for anyone watching this preview, stay tuned. There will be a mock draft that will occur on Saturday. Four of us will be picking again our annual mock. I will have to post the video on Sunday as my band does have a gig on Saturday. But for Josh here, according to Sleeper's ADP, I'm not saying this is who you would go, okay? Their ADP numbers are fucking awful, I'll be honest. But for ADP, Ramondre Stevenson, Wilson, Makai Lemon, if he's still there, maybe that's going to be one of those rookie wide receiver keepers for you. Jacoby Myers, Kyle Monning guys. So, I mean, maybe Modern Guy's going to be a keeper. Who knows? You're just going to have to see how the draft plays out and go the way you're going to go. All right, the barometer chart, potential storylines, bottom four could happen. I think it could. You got a lack of running back and QB strength and injuries if they occur. You could be in deep trouble again, like Krista's keepers. I don't see a true one other than Saquon. Maybe you can make the argument for Waddle, but with Sutton there, I'm not quite sure, right? Consolation contender, you definitely could end up here with a lack of keeper strength, as mentioned, compared to the rest of the league and a bad draft, right? So I honestly think if you make consolation, that's where you want to be this year. You took the grace. There's no sense going all in. There's no reason at all for you to trade to go all in and be competitive. Your goal is to survive and get more picks for next year because next year you have to pay. You have no choice. So if you go into consolation, at least you can try to get first overall. That's got to be your goal this year. Playoff team, this would be your best outcome, I feel. I could see it happen if Golden and Walden go off. Saquon returns to year one Philly form. But again, if it was me and someone's going all in and you can get picks for Saquon, maybe that's something you considering. That's the year you took the grace. Division title, I think it's the 12th man's division to be lost, to be honest. I think he's the heavy favorite for sure. And then champion, highly unlikely, but you're not scared. If you're not scared to make trades and you have proved yourself in tier 2 and tier 3, I should say you have not been afraid to make trades. You went all in tier 3 and tier 2, I believe, both years. So you know what it takes. But again, you took the grace. You can't win anything. Don't go all in. It's about selling this year, going all in potentially next year. Anyways, Josh, happy you're in my town now, man. So one of these days, let's hook up and hang out and maybe grab something to eat. But I wanted to say, hey, man, it's good having you in the league, and I hope you have some success this year and you enjoy Tier 1 in the challenge.